Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds. Liverpool beat Wolves just about in the end. Hung on to the 3 points, the vital 3 points. Yes, it was a poor game for Liverpool, especially second half. Second half, we didn't even turn up at all. Wolves all over us towards the end. Liverpool hung on, but that 3 points, that's all that matters, Reece. I said it before the game. 3 points, all that matters. And I'm really annoyed, by the way, at the performance. I thought it was a poor performance. And I'm worried about going forward in the next few games because it will be difficult, much more difficult games if we keep playing like that. It's not looking good. But 3 points is 3 points, Reece. 3 points is 3 points, and we've got to take it and run.
No, 100%. We weren't at our best today. It was more worrying towards the end because of what happened during the week with Everton. But you can't be perfect every game. I think you got to remember the standards that we set. I think we kind of think that we're meant to just steamroll every team every game. Whereas there's a lot of games we've played better than that, and then we haven't won, or we've played better and we didn't, and then we've ended up scoring towards the end of the game. We really should have kind of killed the game off. If Salah stayed on side slightly, obviously he scored, but he was offside. And then Jota kind of messed that up. I don't know what he was doing. For me,
He just basically tried winning a penalty. I don't know why he didn't stay on his feet and shoot.
It looked like he's trying to score the perfect goal because you cut it. Whereas for me, either take it on your left, but the ball that came in, I thought you should have just left it for Diaz. So really, we should have kind of killed the game. And I did have a feeling today anyway that Wolves were going to score because even though we were winning, it wasn't a great game. It's like we were doing what we needed to do, but it wasn't like we was at our best with everything flowing and whatnot. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I was absolutely sweating towards the end. I literally stood up for the second half. I didn't think I sat down once.
No, I sat down, but you got the butterflies
edge of the seat.
So I was uncomfortable. That feeling. I was kind of preparing myself. Are they going to allow Wolves to score and ruin it? That's how I was kind of thinking. But like I said, the most important thing is we won. Obviously, I could see if you look, Slot didn't look happy. That's why I'm more calmer because I know he's going to tell them off or he's going to correct what he needs to correct.
And that's the standards that we need, and that is the standards that we need to keep up here is crucial. And I think we got away with one though today. That's what's annoyed me more than anything is like we could have really, but like I said, we could have put the game to bed, and we didn't do that. The amount of times we went forward in the second half, especially went forward, and we kept going backwards. And there was a cross. I think like 76th minute crossing to the ball from Salah, and Salah had a chance to fucking take it first time. He said he put it down and went backwards again. Yeah, and I feel like we're not trying to kill games off it. That's what's frustrating me right now. We're not trying to kill games off. It's like we're just happy with that slender lead and then see it out.
I hear what you mean. It's frustrating. I wouldn't say we're not trying to kill games. I just think sometimes if the game's not completely our side, then you kind of not worry, but you always know whoever you're playing. 2-0 is a kind of dangerous scoreline. Even though you're comfortable, if the other team gets the goal, then they've kind of got that initiative and that all of a sudden they've been given that lift to kind of get back in the game. And I never really like 2-0 scorelines, even when you're playing amazing. I don't like to. I like it when it's 3-0 because then you can afford to concede if you are going to concede. Whereas if it's 2, they score, then all of a sudden it's a game now. So
did we have a shot second half? I don't even think we had a shot second half.
Have a look.
I know that it was like I know they said that they put a stat on Sky Sport to put last 10 shots while Wolves the second half. I think Carragher said something like since the 43rd minute went and had a shot on goal. That is fucking dreadful. That's dreadful.
No,
I'd have been if we drew that, mate. I swear I'd have been red. I'd have been fucking red. I'd have been fuming. I'm not happy with the performance, but I mean, Robertson said it here. This is what Robertson said after the game. Players get nervous, the fans get nervous, only natural. And you could feel the nerves, couldn't you? You could feel the nerves in Anfield as well. The crowd it was dead. It was silent at times. Every now and then you hear shouts of Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. But most of the time, you could feel the nerves through the screen.
Wolves had momentum. They were playing like they were a team. They played really well. Wolves, and obviously because of what happened during the week, like I said, and it was so recent, you're gonna be a bit nervy. But like I said, it weren't great. Robbo, one of the worst today as well for me. He kind of kept his side. He's kind of getting cut open too much, so much for me. It's very frustrating. Like I
I
said,
think there were a lot of poor performances today, mate. I thought McAllister had a shocker, and I love McAllister. I thought he had an absolute shocker. The amount of times he gave the ball away and mid decision making.
yeah,
I thought Gravenberch went amazing, and I love.
what they
I think
seem
Szoboszlai was the one in midfield that played well.
I think Gravenberch was okay. Szoboszlai okay. McAllister not great. It was more like I said, going up front, not really offering much. Minus Diaz's maybe tenacity in terms of and whatnot, but up front Salah weren't great today.
No, played. Yeah.
I know he got an assist and a goal, but he's kind of non-existent.
Sometimes that assists and goals sometimes hide the actual performance. I mean, like you said, Diaz.
Said that, but we're not allowed to say that because there's certain people who.
You're absolutely allowed to say that. Yeah, absolutely allowed to say that. And Salah, you know, if the Egyptian king, I'll always praise Salah. But at the end of the day, if you're not playing good enough, I'll tell you how it is. If you've not played enough, and I saw at half time like Diaz has played well. I don't think Diaz played well. His first goal, it was just tenacity, brilliant run. He got a bit lucky, but I don't know what the keeper were doing coming out like that. But a good run from Diaz. That's what happens when you put effort in. You get lucky with it.
I wouldn't say he was great. Out of the three who
I
started,
would say
he was the best of a bad bunch, but more from his effort. But everything looked when we were playing, because even before we scored, when Trent was passing, some of his passing, it's overhit. A lot of the players looked quite lackadaisical in midfield at times, especially second half. McAllister. It was very frustrating because it's like it was too relaxed, and it's like we're only winning 2-1. It's like when they play like that, it is frustrating because it's not that you're having a terrible game. We can understand when you have average games, it's more mentality. Don't ever underestimate. And like we've always said, effort as well in terms of when you're playing for the badge. If you're winning 4-5-1, okay, you can understand that. But it's 2-1, and Wolves are trying to see if they can actually sense that they might be able to potentially get something. So they're pushing, they're trying. So, like I said, relieved to put that game to kind of bed and get the 3 points. But yeah, it wasn't ideal.
Wolves, to be fair to Wolves, I thought they played pretty decent all game. I thought second half, obviously, they dominated a little bit more second half. Cunha is just an absolute terror.
Yeah, he's the player for me. He's that difference. He's that bit of quality that they have.
He's massive, isn't he? Yeah.
He's a really good player.
And you can see why Arne Slot is.
I wouldn't mind a player like that.
No, not at all.
We spoke before him, like I said. Don't get me wrong, I like players with a name and stuff, but I don't mind. I don't have to have someone. I don't mind someone who's maybe not as big a name, but I know they're a quality player. So.
And one thing positive I could take out today, obviously, apart from the 3 points, one thing I can take out today as well is the fact that this could piss Arsenal off. Arsenal fans will be looking at it thinking, come on, they've got a chance here, they've got a chance to drop points here, and then we're just about get over the line. And it could be a huge 3 points going. I think it's a huge 5 points right now because of who we've got next. We've got Villa away, Man City away. Those 3 points are absolutely vital. No matter how the performance was, those 3 points were so crucial to get that little bigger gap again against Arsenal going forward into the harder games. If you are joining us live, make sure you get your comments in as well. What's your thoughts on the game? Were we lucky? I thought we were very, very lucky in the end. But sometimes you have to be lucky to win titles. And we rode our luck absolutely, certainly today. Not really many performances out there. I thought Szoboszlai was sensational all game. I think even pushing out to the left towards the end, I thought his work rate was good. A couple of iffy decisions towards the end. I mean, he could have shot earlier on when Salah crossed it in. But I don't know if that's down to tactics. The tactics annoy me going backwards all the time. The whole calm. Sometimes you just got to take your chances. Sometimes you really got to push on.
I don't think it was tactics. I just think it's the team being naive. Obviously, I get why he brought Endo on. Maybe he's just trying to see out the game. He got a bit,
and he was shocking as well. He was shocking and all. He just kept getting fouled away.
He got a bit, but it's hard to come onto a game if the rest of the team is kind of got nervous energy. They're not trying to progress forward, and he's a defensive player naturally. But Salah, obviously, a little bit of criticism, some will say, because why during the week, why did you bring Jota on 5 minutes when you maybe should have brought someone to see out the game? Obviously, he could maybe sense something today, so he tried to see out the game. But I don't think his tactics is ever to sit off and kind of be happy with what you got. If it's the last 5 or so minutes, but I still think he would have wanted to control the game better. And you could see when he walked on the pitch, you could see his face. You know, when you can't hide, even though he's trying to put on, you can kind of see.
You
can see. So I know they're probably going to get told how they can do better, and the players will know themselves. Because you can't be having it like that where you're at home and you're winning the game comfortably, and the team scores. Yeah, we shouldn't have conceded, but you shouldn't start becoming panicky because they've scored. You go again and you carry on and you up the tempo and you do what you need to do. You go and get another goal. You don't act like, oh, Wolves have scored, we don't know what to do. We kind of got to have a better mentality, better plan going forward.
See, 2-0 actually does feel comfortable. If you think about 2-0, comfortable scoreline, 2 goals ahead. I don't think at any point in that game we were really comfortable. Even we looked very, very nervy. I think Van Dijk certainly stepped up. Konate got very lucky. And I'm going to speak about Simon Hooper's performance because I'm always going to be honest on this channel, right? And when refereeing decisions go against us or for us, I'll be honest with whatever the correct decision is. I thought Simon Hooper, especially the first half, had a very, very poor game. And I got why the Wolves manager were kicking off. Because there was a couple of times where they could have had a break and we stopped them having it, and it could have been easily a free kick, one given. The second goal, it was a penalty by the keeper, shouldn't have come out, still a decision for him. But Diaz, I thought, clearly pushed the defender before. See, it was pretty much like the Konate situation midweek, I thought.
Wasn't he kind of leaning on the defender?
It did. If you see, he just literally just shoved him a little bit that way. It was literally pretty much similar to the Konate one midweek. It wasn't much of a shove, but enough shove to influence the actual outcome, the action of the game. Because that shove, if he didn't do that shove, I don't think Diaz gets to get that ball, therefore doesn't get the penalty. So I think that was a wrong decision from the referee. They should have been looked at. I thought the correct decision with the Jota situation.
No penalty.
That was a quick call. Jota dived, and I want to stamp that out. I see it all the time in Premier League where strikers leave the leg and do it on purpose. It's not fair on the defender. The defender really do it wrong. They went to block a shot. He cut inside, but instead of diving, why didn't you just stay on his feet and shoot? I don't understand what you were doing there.
Shoot or let that go through your legs. That was going directly to Diaz, and I think Diaz doesn't even take a touch because of the way it passed. I think he would have just slotted that in.
I think the pass was meant to be for Diaz. Yeah, I do.
Because I think Gravenberch and Diaz were fuming. I think because obviously we didn't get a pen.
It could have cost us, mate. It could have cost us. We'll look back on this now.
Really, that was probably our best move of the match.
Szoboszlai touch.
That bit of play, the Szoboszlai touch. That was our first, probably our best piece of play. Because like I said, we didn't really play the football we were supposed to play today. What was interesting with the Diaz, the first goal, was with the goalie. He didn't even need to come out and touch it.
I don't understand what he was doing. I don't know where he was going.
He was going away from the goal. He probably would have ran the ball out of play with a touch. So I was saying that to my dad. I was like, the goalie's kind of giving us a penalty here.
Yeah.
Diaz, even if he didn't get to Diaz, he wouldn't have kept that on. He was running at such speed, and even his touch looked like it was away. It was away, like it was going towards the corner flag. So yeah,
I think both of our goals won their keeper. I don't understand why the keeper came out for the first one. I thought even coming out made that touch from Diaz go in because why was he out there? He didn't need to go out there at that point. And then the second one,
quite scruffy with Salah's touch.
Yeah,
kind of lucky that I was able to get to Diaz and he kind of bombarded it in. I was thinking, obviously we'll take it. But yeah, we need to do better. And also we've got the game during the week. That's not an easy game. Also, I'm confident we can win, but we need to be more like kind of at the races during the week. And I don't think any other team's playing. I've checked, which is
no. It's like we played an extra game because of obviously. I don't know why it's been rearranged. I know there was a reason why it was rearranged every day, but yeah, it's a rearranged game, so we are playing midweek, and they'll have a game and of us. But if we play anything like that against Villa and City, that's the worrying thing. That's the worrying thing now. If we play anything like that, that's where there's potential dropping points. We're lucky. I'm not no offense to Wolves, but we're lucky it was Wolves today. Very lucky because they had a few chances where they'd have been put in with better quality.
as well was a better team. But I think we'll raise our game, I think, because we'll understand the magnitude. I think Slot will make sure they do. And I think if we win during the week, that's a big 3 points, I think. Because it's an extra game played. Yeah, Arsenal have a game in hand. But I always prefer it. I'll rather have played the game instead of have the game.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Because at the time you think, yeah, I got a game in hand. You think, yeah, we should win that. But as you saw against Everton, we didn't, So I would rather have that, and then it's 10 points, and it's a lot. And then if we can go to City and win, I think that's a massive result. So these next 2 games, every game's a tough game, but these next 2 games, I think, are very important, I think, in terms of where the title is going to go this season.
Yeah, obviously we are 7 points clear. We've got Villa away on Wednesday. Then we've got City next week away. And Arsenal got West Ham at home. That game on Wednesday is huge. It could put us 10 points clear.
No, but that's
10 points clear. But
I think that's a big game because 10 points.
It's huge.
Even though they'll have an extra game, they got to win that game, and you don't know when they're going to play that game and who the extra game is as well. So psychologically, I think that's a massive game.
They do have Forest away the week after, but yeah, we can't play like that again. Now we cannot play like that again. If you are live with us, please make sure you get your comments in as well. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Let you know who's our man of match. If you could pick anyone, let me know. Did we get away with it, or did we? Is that just what you got to do in title race? It is what you got to do, but I still don't like it. It's not good for the heart. It's not good for anything.
We got away with one today, but you do have games like that. Like I said, there's no way you have a season where every game is just a perfect performance and you win. There's games you have where you have a great performance and you don't win. So for me, I'll take that. And I'll say one player that I was impressed with when they came on was Kwanzaa, because he had a couple where he got in a few blocks, and I was a bit worried about him coming on because I know his confidence is not there, but a couple of
that tackle he made towards end where it cut across.
He block him when the cross, like I said, Robinson.
Huge. Huge.
Absolutely huge. I think that will help him as well. So I was quite impressed. He kind of stood up and made himself accountable. So credit to Kwanzaa.
What would you do with the team then Wednesday? What would you do with the team? Would you keep the same team, or do you think Slot, with the standards that he sets, shakes things up again? Or do you think he just trusts this 11?
I think if Gakpo's available, he will go back to Gakpo on the left, Diaz up front. I just think he's going to do that. I know we could say Jota. He still looks rusty to me. I know it's only in one game, but I just think if he's got his normal 11 back, if Gakpo's available, I think Diaz will go up front and it will be Gakpo. I think he'll keep the rest the same. Like I said, I can't really as much as I want to make a case for Tsimikas, I can't really make a case for him. Even though Robbo wasn't great today, he's probably more match sharp than Tsimikas. You could put Tsimikas in, and it depends. He might have a great game. He might start slow. So more or less, I think that it will be the same team. If Gakpo is not available, I think it will be the same. Maybe some might say Nunes to start. Maybe. So I don't know.
No, I'm not starting.
I know we wouldn't, but some might. It depends. Like if I was going to start him, I would have started him today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think if he is going to start, it will be today.
One thing I will say, because he is a natural striker, he does kind of create a bit more space. There's times defenders will gravitate towards him, whereas with Diaz, because he's not necessarily a natural striker, even though he's probably better with his movement, he's more, let's say, elusive, probably a bit more clever. But like, look at that Brentford game, for example, when Nunes came on. That's how he was even able to get those goals, because he kind of occupied the space and it drew other players towards him. So it'll be interesting. I think Slot will more or less keep it the same, but don't be surprised. You never know if he might spring a surprise.
You know what worries me though, mate? You know what worries me is the fact that I think he might have to keep it the same, because he really, looking at that bench, who's going to shake things up?
Was Chiesa on the bench today?
Chiesa was on the bench, yeah, and Elliott on the bench.
I would have
brought bring any of them on.
Based on Salah today, I would have brought Chiesa on.
Yeah, really, you're looking at the bench and thinking Elliott could possibly shake. A good Elliott can shake things up. Chiesa potentially, if he's on it, he's not been on it recently, and potentially that's it. Really,
who was missing?
No one else can really shake things up.
Do you know who was missing today? Who weren't available? Who could have came on? Is Jones.
Yeah, it's Jones. Yeah, and he ain't available midweek either. So again, it goes back to this. I'm thinking throughout, right? And people in the January transfer window. Why do you need a January transfer window? Why do we need signings in January transfer window? The importance of a January transfer window signing, especially when to this team right now, is complacency. Number one, what it would do is boost everyone up, and it keeps everyone on the toes. Performance like this. So say McAllister today, really poor. He's looking on the bench thinking, I'm playing next game. I'm playing next game anyway, no matter what. And that's where the issue lies. We need someone that's going to keep these players on the toes. We need these players behind them. And it's not just about buying players for the bench. What it is buying competition. That's what it's buying. If you play poor, and especially Slot standards, Slot will drop anyone. Look what he did for Kwanzaa. First game of the season. You're not playing off Konate there. He's got a clear swap for him there.
Yeah.
But with like McAllister, Gravenberch, you talk about Robertson. He's not really got proper depth behind them to say keep that performance or you're getting dropped. He's got Tsimikas, but this is why I don't think this is why Robertson hasn't been dropped, because there is Tsimikas behind him rather than someone a bit better.
With Tsimikas, but if anyone's known, he does need a run of games. I think if Robinson was out for ages and Robinson just came in, he wouldn't perform great. So even though I do get what you mean, but I think like most players need a couple. There's very few players that come in unless they're first team where they seem to just they don't look like they've been missing kind of thing. Obviously, it's unfortunate with what's going on with Jones. He's maybe just got to make do, like I said, with what he's got. For me, we should be more than, even though Aston Villa's a tough game, we got a good enough first 11, and I still think whoever can come off on the bench, they just got to take
chances. Yeah.
If Elliot does come on, you got to try and do something. Make the manager think why you should be playing more. Any of them who's on the bench there, because obviously at the minute it doesn't look like a lot of you he trusts. But yeah,
I'm just seeing if there's any quotes after the match to see what's going on here. Van Dijk has come out and said, "I definitely give them credit the way they went 1v1 most of the times, and how they find free man between the lines. At times we were sloppy as well, and we couldn't keep the ball as well as we can at times. Yeah, well, we were very, very sloppy. I thought McAllister normally bill it on the ball. I thought the amount of times he give the ball away today, I don't know what he was doing. Today showed at times that when we have the ball, you can exploit it as well. Cunha was a dangerous man for them today. We had to be aware of. Unfortunately, he scored, but we kept them to that. We'd love to dominate for the full 90 minutes, but it's the Premier League and Wolves can punish you and create dangerous moments against you. It says a lot when we keep fighting, we keep going and got the 3 points. That's how it's pretty much summed it up there. Look, we weren't good enough. Wolves did cause problems, especially Cunha. But what we did do is didn't give up. We kept fighting. We got the 3 points, the most important 3 points in the end. I thought Kwanzaa's tackle at the end was just sensational. Konate had a very, very poor game. I thought he could have got sent off earlier on.
It's interesting. I would say his first yellow for me wasn't a yellow, even though he did have a poor game. I think that was quite soft. In the first half, Hooper, the referee, is doing a bit like what the referee was doing during the week, where it's just straight to the card.
Yeah.
Where it's like they kind of look at that as strength. Whereas for me, that shows me when you keep going straight for your cards, that shows me a lack of control. That if anything, that shows me the opposite, that you're not really in control of the game.
It's like an ego. I think all referees have a big ego anyway, and the fact that they can do that, there you go, straight away. I think context needs to come into it. If it's not unless it's absolutely reckless or a clear yellow card, then I think you got to give 1 or 2 fouls first before you start pulling cards out. They'll be quite happy. If you're right then, Reece, put you in a situation. You're Arne Slot Wednesday night. Are you making any changes? Forget what you think Slot might do. What would you do? Obviously, Jones is out. It looks like Gakpo's out as well. So he's not really got much to choose from. Would you drop Konate?
No.
I wouldn't either. I
know Kwanzaa came on and he did do well in his cameo, but
yeah.
I still think that there was times when I did see Konate today. There's certain things he was able to do that I wouldn't say Kwanzaa. I wouldn't say I can 100% trust and say Kwanzaa can do. Even though he wasn't at his usual standard, Konate, sometimes silly tackles. There was times where he did outmuscle or he was able to get back, and I just think that partnership between him and Van Dijk, I just think that's key. If Konate had 2 or 3 games in a row below par, then okay. But I think he will know himself, and like I said, just with the players' standards, the club standards, even more importantly, the manager Slot is anything they don't know already themselves. He's going to be telling them, look, this is where you weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing here, and you need to step up. You need to do better, and they'll know the magnitude of this game as well. The fact that no one else is playing, and how you can apply more pressure to Arsenal by winning this game. No, I would probably keep it the same. If Gakpo was available, then I would put Gakpo left and
definitely.
Diaz up front. But I think I would keep it. I would keep it the same as the team that played today. What about you? Would you change anything yourself if you could?
I think it's just the same. Like looking at that bench and thinking, who can really push into that first team? No one for me. Maybe if Curtis Jones were available, I'd look at bringing Mikhail for that performance. I would, if I'm honest. I wasn't happy with his performance, and like I think he should be first team every week. But I just think we need to keep that standard. We need to keep people. If you play like that, I'm sorry, you dropped a bit like what Slot does. Slot did it with Quanta, like I said, and we've got to keep that standard. If you play like that, I'm sorry, it's like not a punishment, but we've got to keep everyone on the toes. We've got to make sure that standard is kept. We ain't got Jones, we ain't got Gakpo. So I think it would pretty much be the same team.
I know it's probably going to stay the same, but maybe I'll start Bradley. Because I know Trent's not 100% fit, so I'd rather Trent come.
I'll ask you about that. Do you think Trent's not fit? He don't look fit.
No, but he didn't. He won't. I know most of the team weren't great anyway, but he looked off the pace as well. I'd rather him come on for the last half an hour, and then we've kind of got that option of his passing ability, what he does on the ball, how he can open up defenses and keep it tight. Keep it tight at the back for me.
I don't like how we're rushing players back from injury. You know, we did the same with Konate, and we seem to have done the same with Trent. But we've got Bradley there, so there's no even need. I get the Konate rushing him back, but with Trent, I don't see the need to rush him back with Bradley there.
Obviously, I think Slot likes both players, but I think obviously Trent's more of a senior player. He probably trusts him. He just trusts him more. And obviously, the game against Aston Villa, I wouldn't say Bradley was terrible, but he was probably maybe average.
He looked rusty, didn't he? He looked very rusty. He gave away a couple of fouls.
Needless foul. If he was a lot better against Everton and we maybe win that game, you might have saw him start today. But because of that game, he probably felt I got to put Trent back in. So I get what you mean. Don't rush players back, but I still think he's managing them quite well.
You
can easily play Trent and play him the whole game. He did take him off. Trent didn't look completely like he necessarily wanted to come off, but that's what I do like about Slot. If he does bring someone, if he does bring them and they're not fully, he'll play them a little bit, not the whole game. So it'll be interesting to see with Gakpo how serious his injury is.
Before we do go, though, one player I want to do shout out before we do go is Alisson Becker. I thought he was one of few players today that played well, and he has been not his best since his injury. He's had a few games where he's been class and a few iffy games, but today that one-on-one he saved, that's prime Alisson Becker. That's why he's the best keeper in the world. One-on-ones is pretty much the best around. No one beats him.
When they got through with that ball, I was waiting for it to be a goal, and then I forgot for a second. It's like, Ali's in goal. I was saying, that's going to be 2-1.
We've been scarred many years, Reece. We've been scarred many years. We got Mignolet there, we've got Carrier there. It's a nailed-on goal. But we've got Alisson Becker. We forget that he can do that. And look, we got the win, guys. We got the win. If you are watching at home, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get your notification bells on as well. The main thing is we got the win. We got the win, and that is the 3 points of 7 points clear now of Arsenal. We play next before we can go 10 points clear before Arsenal kick another ball, which is advantage to us. But what we do need to improve is certainly the performance, because if we perform like that against Villa, if we certainly perform like that against Man City, it's going to be a longer game than what it was today. Because today, I've had a couple of spare boxes next to me for in case things happen, natural things happen. I haven't really.
Now we can enjoy the mid-table the mid-table clash of Tottenham and United.
In the mud derby, yeah.
No,
we can.
yeah, they're in the
We
mud
can.
derby. Now we know our points are safe. We'll see which team's going to be in the mud later with them too.
We can enjoy the circus game. Guys, thanks everyone for watching. If you have watched, make sure you do like this video. Like I said, it helps out massively. We're nearly on 250 subscribers. We're so close to 750 subscribers, so please share it. Please like the video and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching. Big people.